When did you hear something a new recruit said that made the whole unit laugh? This kid named Private Williams asked our drill sergeant if he could get a military discount at the base barbershop because he was technically a customer, not an employee. Williams had just arrived at Fort Benning straight from some small town in Ohio, and it was obvious he'd never been around military culture before. The guy thought everything worked like civilian life, just with uniforms. He'd ask questions like whether we got overtime pay for night exercises and if there was a human resources department he could file complaints with. The barbershop incident happened during his second week when our drill sergeant marched us over to get regulation haircuts. Williams had been growing his hair out for months before enlisting and was clearly devastated about losing his precious locks that he'd been styling with expensive products. When we got to the barbershop, Williams saw the price list posted on the wall, $5 for a basic military cut. He stood there for a minute doing math in his head, then raised his hand like he was still in high school and asked to speak with Drill Sergeant Peterson privately. Peterson looked annoyed but walked over to hear what Williams had to say. That's when Williams, in complete seriousness, asked if he could get the military discount since he was a soldier getting his hair cut on base. He'd apparently missed the part where military discounts are for civilians, not actual military members. Peterson stared at him for about 10 seconds, trying to process what he'd just heard. Then he asked Williams to repeat his question loud enough for everyone to hear. Williams, thinking he was onto something brilliant, announced to the entire barbershop that he wanted to know about military discounts for active duty personnel. The whole place erupted in laughter. The barbers, other soldiers waiting in line, even some officers who were there all started cracking up. Williams looked confused because he genuinely thought he'd discovered some kind of money-saving loophole that nobody else had figured out. Peterson, barely keeping it together, explained that Williams was the military. The discount was for civilians who wanted to support troops, not for the actual troops themselves. He told Williams that asking for a military discount while in uniform was like asking for a student discount at your own high school. But Williams wasn't done. He then asked if he could at least get a frequent customer discount since he'd have to get his hair cut every 2 weeks for the next 4 years. He was treating military grooming standards like a subscription service that should come with loyalty rewards. The best part was when one of the barbers, still laughing, told Williams that the military was already giving him a discount. They were paying him to be there instead of charging him tuition like college. Williams just stared blankly, clearly not understanding the concept. Peterson finally lost it and started laughing so hard he couldn't speak. He had to step outside to compose himself, while Williams stood there asking other soldiers if anyone knew about group rates for getting haircuts together. The story spread through the entire base within hours. Williams became legendary as the recruit who tried to negotiate with the military-industrial complex over barbershop prices. Officers would stop by our barracks just to meet the kid who'd asked for a military discount while actively serving in the military. Williams eventually figured out why everyone was laughing at him, but by then it was too late. For the rest of basic training, anytime someone complained about military pay, people would joke about asking for a military discount on their own salary. The barbershop even put up a fake sign that said, "Military discount, you get paid to be here," just to commemorate Williams's legendary question. 3 years later, that sign was still hanging there as a reminder of the day someone tried to get a discount for being themselves.